good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, whatever time you find yourself watching this video. Welcome back to Life is Hard. If you're a first time viewer, welcome in. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Today, have a couple of goodies from Böker. We'll get the box out of the way. Some of these are out of box, so Lord, I'm glad I felt that, because that could have been disastrous. Here we go. Well, we're going to put these two Bökers aside for now and focus on the guy in the box. What's in the box? We'll move these around. I think it is, yeah, it's been opened. Whoa. Okay. This is the Böker. Where is the, hold on. What we have here is the Böker M.U.K, a very unique looking EDC knife. The we'll see 1050 on the blade. We have 1050 on one side of the blade, and we have 12C27. And if you look very closely, I got this on the Böker USA whatnot page. There are two small dots. I think you could, this means this is a factory second. So we'll take a look-see and see if we can determine why it is what it is. This 12C27 is a steel that is very similar to the more common Sandvik 14C28N. So 12C27 is it's a similar steel, but it's a little softer. So it's gonna be less prone to chipping. It's very sharp. The scale on this is a brown micarta, and looks like it has some sort of black liner. Don't quite, that might be a dark a dark just micarta, so it might be a layered micarta. It's super comfortable. This guy is super comfortable. It's kind of a funky looking knife. When I see this, and it's got as we can see, it's got jimping 2 spots of the blade. I'll put that over there. This feels like a field dressing knife, a skinning knife. If you are a hunter, or if you're having to hunt for your food, this knife, easily a neck knife. We'll look here at about huge belly on this blade. You know, they said this is inspired by the M.U.K, if you're familiar with that blade shape. And that's why they call this a M.U.K, because it's a smaller version of that. But the blade's about, you know, obviously it's longer because of the swoop, but it's a 2 1/4 inch blade. Nice and sharp. Let's see how the, oh, okay, Kydex sheath. It locked in there 2 drain holes on our Kydex. Let's do the shake test. I don't think we're gonna fail the shake test on this guy. I'll grab it. No, there is no way. And whoa, very secure. It feels nice and light. I think the website says a little north of 2 ounces, but we'll take a look. 2.5, 2.54 ounces. $71, 72 grams. Yeah. So very lightweight. The spine, let's break out the calipers and see. .64 millimeter spine. This is just a pocket clip you can add to the knife if you wanted to carry it in your pocket or as a pocket clip knife. It's light, and the way it feels, I would neck knife this all day long. I really like this knife. Now, if I am being fair and being honest about critiquing, and maybe this is why it's a factory second, I don't see any issues with the blade edge. The finish to the blade does not give me any concern. There's no variation that I can see. I think where we get into just that slight factory second portion, or is the Torx screws. They look to be around a Torx 9. We'll check. Let's see, where's my, here's a 9. Yep, that's a Torx 9. So what is it about him that is, let me move some of the bottoms. If you can see, what do you see that is wrong or not optimum? Now, it could be me or not, but I don't want hardware sticking out. I want it flush or recessed. I do not want my knife hardware. So on this side, it is almost where it needs to be. The other side sticks out a little bit. It's not such that it is like, oh God, this is gonna hotspot. This is gonna hotspot me. You know, not with this. Now, one thing we're gonna do for this particular knife today is we're going to see what a little ballistol. A lot of people use wicket wax and things like that, and that's fine. I don't mind. Use what you got. I like ballistol. It's a multi-purpose. It's an old school multi-purpose oil that you can use on leather. You can use on, it says leather, knives, tools, locks, marine, wood, metal, rubber, eco-friendly, not cancer causing, you know. So if you haven't heard of this product, which I'm sure most of you have, it's been around a long time, like I said, get you some. You won't be disappointed. Now, what am I doing? Why is he doing that? Let's see. We're going to, this is the non-oiled side, and look what it does to that micarta. Now this micarta, I will tell you, this micarta looks thirsty as hell. Like it has been, because it's a second, we don't know how long this knife's been sitting on a shelf somewhere. Böker USA, I think they just opened a store in Longmont, Colorado. Their German-made products are really very, you know, Böker is an old storied brand, right? And the Germans are very particular about tolerances and things like that. Now, this is part of the Böker Plus line, which is designed in Germany and manufactured in China. So, you know, take that as you will. This full-tang small knife, I'm really impressed with it. I saw it and I said, you know, man, I bought it partly for the Böker reputation, but I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see how this guy looks. Nice contour on the scale, you know. Just a solid little knife. It's got a purpose though, you know. This is really, like I said, this is, you could do some small food prep, but I really see this as sort of a Skinner. That little bit of oil went a long way, and when it comes to micarta, dry micarta at least, what I like to do is put the oil, let the micarta just soak it in, and then for the first, this is an old rule of thumb I learned from, actually I learned it from a YouTuber named, what was his, I'll have to look him up. His YouTube channel escapes me at the moment, but anyway, he worked for the U.S. Forest Service, and they oiled their axe handles. And there was a rule of thumb: you oil your axe handle once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and your axe, the axe handle should be fully sort of infused, if you would, with the oil. And you know, he used in now wood handles versus micarta are quite a different animal, you know, but he used like a boiled linseed oil for hickory axe handles. You know, and that's one thing I see a lot of knives with fancy woods and stuff like that. They use Paca wood. I don't know why they use Paca wood. I think it might be a Chinese wood. By the next video, it will have bothered me enough, and I'll look it up. But with that being said, the point of that statement was, why not hickory handles? Because here's the thing, folks. I see, you know, there's the knife community. The knife community has lots of subsets to it, and there is one part of the knife community is the collecting subset. And handle materials, handle colors, handle flash, if you would, is what they focus on. And okay, that's that. You know, whatever you like, you know. For me, certain handles, there was a knife that I reviewed that I really liked the knife, but the handle was so nice that I won't carry it, except maybe like on a special occasion, because it's just a beautiful looking, like copper carbon fiber handle. Micarta, the oil makes the micarta look fresh and stuff, but it also helps preserve the micarta, protect the micarta, you know. And it's not the looks that I'm going for, you know. It is the performance. Now, this is not a self-defense type knife that I have to worry about how fast can I deploy it, etc. But will it be sharp, and will it be useful for me to skin, you know, an animal that I need to, or a fish or something like that, to make it a good and reliable tool for me. And you know, every indication is yes. You know, it's a very durable steel. It's going to be easy to sharpen. And you know, with this kind of shaped blade, honestly, I'll just pass this on a hone or a strop, and it ought to be super sharp for quite a while. So nothing that I would be overtly concerned about. And it's not going to fall out of this sheath. This is great sheath that I will consider a neck knife application. So, with that being said, Böker Plus, A+, my first Böker fixed blade, I believe, and they call it the Pocket M.U.K. I've been calling it the M.U.K. They call it the Pocket M.U.K. And like I said, it comes from the Ness M.U.K family, but those are normally quite a bit bigger than this. So if you're a hunter or someone who looks towards field dressings, etc., take a look at this guy if you haven't already. You know, it is made in China. Take that as you will. There are other American-made skinning knives on the market, but for the lightness, You know, I don't think this guy would bug you at all for a long time around your neck. It's not going to weigh your neck down. All that thing, the micarta is smooth. You know, this was a factory second. I'm guessing it's because of the hardware. That's really the, and I still gave it an A+. So maybe I got just too excited by it. Maybe it should just be an A, because that's, yeah, we'll do that. This is not a perfect knife, but it's damn close. So we're gonna give it an A. I like it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you were thinking about it, this gave you sort of a closer look at what it is, and you know, what it's capable kind of doing, what you would think to do with it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video and leave me a comment. What do you think? Do you have a Skinner that you would use over this guy? Do you have a Nesmuk that you use in that fashion, or do you have one of these? Let me know. But until next time, remember, life is hard. Don't complain. Take care.